Hello, friends and foes. I am Lee of the Reverie, and welcome to my comic review and analysis series. Today we'll be looking at Absolute Wonder Woman, issue number 2. The text has been edited to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by DC Comics. Go out and support your local comic book shops. Issue number 2 of Absolute Wonder Woman was written by Kelly Thompson with art by Hayden Sherman and coloring by Jordi Belair. Steve Trevor crash lands on the Wild Isle and meets Diana and Cersei. In the present day, Diana meets with the military leaders in Gateway City before preparing to face a new threat. An element from the last issue that carries over into this one is the contrast between this Diana and the mainline Diana. In Wonder Woman stories, the Amazons are usually very hostile towards Steve when he first arrives on Themyscira, with only Diana being kind. Whereas, in this story, Cersei greets Steve warmly and there is no hostility between the two. Continuing on with that, keeping the core of what makes Diana and Steve themselves while offering contrast through the world around them is a good way to tell the story and showcase this world. For example, Steve is absolutely smitten with Diana as soon as he sees her, just like in the mainline books. Type of continuity paired with the contrast of its surrounding world really highlights what we love about Wonder Woman. Everything happening in Gateway City, the military is reacting remarkably well. In some stories, we would have the classic denial and attempted rationale from the military, but in this story, it's just kind of skipped over, and I appreciate it as it can be a tired trope at times. Diana states here that her Pegasus is actually the Pegasus and that Zeus killed him. In actual Greek mythology, Zeus didn't kill Pegasus, but instead transformed him into a constellation. Now, this could be taken as Zeus killing him, but that's not usually how it's interpreted in the traditional mythology. But despite Diana being an Amazon in her comics, they haven't always been the most mythologically accurate, so I'll let it slide for now. I was able to get this shiny variant. The cover itself is a reference to a classic Wonder Woman cover, obviously done in this art style with this costume, but it's a good reference and a fun way to show off her armor. I like how we get a different angle of the fight from the ending of the last issue, and also tying back to the beginning of the first issue with the news crew that kicks them both off. Like in the last issue, there's a lot of red, and it has this ominous feeling to it that lends itself to the story very well. Fun fact about Diana's tattoo. The symbol on her shoulder is the sigil of Hecate, the Greek goddess of magic. Diana invokes Hecate several times throughout this book, as in this universe, she is witch as well as a warrior. The over-the-shoulder panels are a nice way to introduce Steve, but if you look at Diana's eyes, you will see that on the left they are red, but in the right panel they are back to blue, which indicates that she is done with her spell. The panel where Steve first sees Diana is absolutely stunning, and I like this is how he sees her. We're seeing her from his perspective, and like I said earlier in the video, he is absolutely smitten with her. So, of course, she'd look like an absolute knockout. The art here is amazing. I said this in the last video, but I really do enjoy the line work. And we get to see a great example of that with her hair. Detail that you can see this is from Steve's perspective is that Diana is speaking Greek, and that the text bubble reflects that, and then when Diana does her spell, they can understand each other properly. I giggled a little bit at this panel. The way it's drawn, it gives the impression of a dolly zoom, and then Steve just shouting, "I'm dead," with Cersei and Diana both giving a very deadpan response, is quite humorous. Back to present day, hugs! I love hugs. I also like how tall she is compared to the men around her. It's a good visual indicator of how out of their depth they are compared to her. It's also lore accurate. This full-page spread is a good contrast with the rest of the book's coloring. The gray and monotones against the reds that have been dominating this book is a good way to give a different feel, as well as the colors invoking a new sense of dread. I also like the beetle squid design. The best way to create a new monster, in my opinion at least, is to smash together random creatures until it looks terrifying, which it does. The quality from the first issue is carried over into the second, in both the art and storytelling. The simultaneous telling of the story in the past and present lends itself to a staggered introduction that works very well. The use of contrast in both the story and the art highlights details and important story beats very well. I give this issue a solid 8 out of 10. Don't forget to like and comment. No AI was used in the making of this video. Farewell for now.